Joining us now is former Attorney General, Lieutenant Governor of Idaho, David Leroy. He's also a criminal defense attorney. So, sir, were you surprised by prosecutors taking this guilty plea? As we just heard, the father of one of the victims is very angry, said he was only notified of it at the very last minute and really wanted a trial.
No, I was not actually surprised. There was one moment in time when this could happen, and it is now. We're on the courthouse steps. Jury selection is about ready to begin. We're looking at a 3-month trial and 15 years of appeals. So the maximum pressure is on the prosecutor to rethink, if he wishes, that decision on the death penalty. And the only solution that he could have accepted was a maximum plea to all counts, maximum sentences agreed to, no possibility of seeking any reduction, and all appeals waived. So in a sense, it's surprising. In another sense, this was the only time it could have happened.
Why do you think, though, prosecutors agreed to this plea deal or offered this plea deal? Were they unsure they would win?
No, I think, as was articulated today in the courtroom, it's a very strong scientific, circumstantial case, and it kept getting stronger. Just last week, the judge threw out the alternate perpetrator possibilities for the defense, so that further put a nail in the likelihood that this would be a conviction. But the prosecutor has to weigh all kinds of things, and this particular settlement is not only agreeable to half of the victim families, but it's also defensible and explicable in the community's best interest.
Listen, you can't ignore the fact that if he had been, convicted at trial and sentenced to death, which is they have the firing squad in Idaho, there would have been years of appeals. I mean, there would not have been this immediate justice that I think some of these families want.
Yes, and 2 of the families voted right now for closure and said and applauded and encouraged the prosecutor with very supportive and sensitive messages. The other 2 I can certainly understand have a biblical, moral approach to an eye for an eye, and that's explicable and understandable too. But on balance, this is the best result, even for those families, though they may not currently know it, that would have suffered through all those trials,
right,
those slings and arrows, and those 15 years of appeals.
And just very quickly, because we only have a few seconds left, will anybody force him to explain why he did what he did? Can the judge force him at sentencing to do that?
Judge can't force him to say anything at sentencing, but he will once again have the opportunity to do so. However, the judge did mention that in addition to the standard 11-page plea agreement form, he has written a written statement of his version of the facts and signed that. At some point, that will become public.
All right. Maybe we'll get some answers then. David Leroy, thank you so much. Really appreciate you joining us, sir. All right, coming up for...
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.